Have you ever been attacked not because you did wrong, but because you stood for what was right? Have you ever loved only to be betrayed? Helped only to be mocked? Prayed for others, but when your storm came, they laughed at you? That is the cry of Psalm 35. It is not the polished prayer of a saint in a choir robe. It is the raw, desperate cry of a man hunted, slandered, and betrayed, lifting his eyes and saying, "Lord, fight for me. Contend with those who contend with me." The battlefield. Close your eyes and picture this. David is not seated in a palace. He's standing in the battlefield of betrayal, dust rising, enemies circling. His strength is failing. His friends have abandoned him. He lifts his voice and pleads, "Contend, Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take up shield and armor. Arise and come to my aid." David sees God not just as a comforter, but as a warrior, shield raised, spear drawn, standing between him and destruction. He prays that the enemies who dug pits would fall into them, that the hunters would be trapped in their own snares. Some battles you don't fight with fists or words. You fight them on your knees. Some wars are won not by shouting louder, but by surrendering deeper to God's strength. The wounds of betrayal. But the deepest wound in Psalm 35 is not the attack of strangers. It's betrayal by people he once cared for. David remembers how he prayed for them. He fasted for them when they were sick. He wore sackcloth, bowing low for their healing. He wept as if for a brother. Yet when his storm came, they laughed. They gossiped, they slandered, they rejoiced in his downfall. Sound familiar? Maybe you too have poured love into people who gave you nothing but mockery in return. You showed loyalty, but when your trial came, they turned their backs, or worse, they celebrated your pain. In his anguish, David cries out, "How long, Lord, will you look on? Rescue me from their ravages." Hidden truth. God sees every tear, even the ones that fall silently when no one else is watching. Betrayal may break your heart, but it cannot break God's promise to defend you. The accuser's laughter. The enemies grow bolder. They wink with malice. They whisper behind his back. They gloat over his pain. They act as if God will not intervene. Their laughter grows louder. Their pride swells higher. But David flips the script. He prays, "May all who gloat over my distress be put to shame. May those who exalt themselves over me be clothed with disgrace." God has a way of turning the laughter of your enemies into silence. The same voices that mocked you will one day marvel at how God has lifted you. Every false whisper will be drowned out by God's vindication. The song of vindication. Then comes the turning point. The psalm doesn't end in bitterness. It ends in breakthrough. David looks forward in faith and declares, "Let those who delight in my vindication shout for joy and be glad. May they always say, 'The Lord be exalted, who delights in the well-being of his servant.'" Pause there. Did you catch it? God doesn't just tolerate you. He doesn't rescue you reluctantly. He delights in your well-being. He rejoices in defending you. David promises, "My tongue will proclaim your righteousness and your praises all day long." Hidden truth. Vindication is not about proving your enemies wrong. It's about proving your God faithful. And reflection. Psalm 35 is more than David's story. It's your story. When you are falsely accused, cry out to God, not people. When betrayal cuts deep, remember that God sees and counts every tear. When enemies laugh, know that their laughter is temporary. God's justice is eternal. And when vindication comes, let your praise be louder than your pain, because the same God who fought for David will fight for you. Prayer. Father, thank you that you are my defender, my judge, and my warrior. When I cannot fight for myself, you rise to fight for me. Silence every false voice raised against me. Heal the wounds of betrayal that still ache in my heart. Turn every scheme of the enemy back on itself, and lift me into your vindication. Today I declare that I will praise you before, during, and after the battle, because you delight in me. In Jesus' mighty name, Amen. Thank you for watching. Stay encouraged, because you never stand alone in the fight. Roots and Vine, where faith runs deep and inspiration grows wide.